Spurgeon here with RevZilla, and today we are going to break down the Spidi Tour EVO Adventure H2Out Jacket available at RevZilla.com. So on my left-hand side, I've got Juice sporting the new Tour EVO Adventure H2Out. This is going to be the top of the line that we're going to see from Spidi in their lineup for a true four-season functional textile piece. Now, there's a lot baked into this jacket, and this is really for you riders out there that are looking for one jacket to tackle many different roads on multiple motorcycles. And we're going to start by breaking down the sizing with this. So Juice on my left-hand side stands at 5'10", weighs in at 195 pounds, 42-inch chest. We have him in a size large. Now, if you're using Spidi's size chart, he's going to come in just at the very top of the food chain for the large sizing. So if you find yourself in between two sizes, you're definitely going to want to size down. Now, sizes are going to range from a medium up to a 5XL, which is awesome because it is going to be a svelte European cut. So for those of you out there that need a more generous offering, it does go up to that 5XL as far as sizing is concerned. Colors, two different colors, full black, and then the black and the gray that Juice is sporting on my left-hand side. Now, if you are not familiar with Spidi as a brand, it is a European manufacturer that we have really seen give a strong push into the American market over the past 12 to 18 months or so. And this is going to be a jacket that is now going to sit at the top of their food chain for a true four-season textile offering. This is going to be a premium. It's going to come in at the $700 price point. And if you're familiar with what used to be the HT Raid, I actually like this better because what you're now getting is a 3-layer laminated shell. So you no longer have the extra layer for waterproof protection. The waterproof layer is going to be baked right in the shell, and you still get a 100-gram thermal removable liner. So they've simplified the process a little bit, and I actually like this better than what the HT Raid was offering. So diving right into this piece, starting at the top, we're going to work our way through. The construction throughout is going to be a 2500D extra 10X material. Now, if you're not familiar with 10X, it's a proprietary material developed by Spidi, and the real story here is you're getting just maximum abrasion resistance throughout the entire jacket, but you don't have that big, bulky, crunchy feel the way you do with some of the other materials that we're seeing out there. But all of this is going to work to protect you, and it's a laminated shell. So the actual shell itself is waterproof, and then we'll see exactly how they use those barriers to make sure that you get direct venting while still maintaining that waterproof protection. So at the collar, you're getting EST, which is Spidi's ergonomic safety tuning, which means you can adjust where the snap actually sits via a Velcro swath. And then at the Adam's apple, you are going to have neoprene for added comfort, which is something that's great because a lot of those jackets, when they have that pullover, it causes discomfort along your neck when you're leaned in a little bit more. So this eliminates that problem, especially when used in conjunction with the ergonomic safety tuning. As we work our way down the shoulders on this, real thing that stands out for me here is they've capped the shoulders. So where a lot of manufacturers, we see them run that seam across the top of the shoulder where the sleeve connects, Spidi's not doing that. What you're going to see is you're going to see that material is going to work all the way down, so you have no seam over top of your impact zone, and they've actually used extra little layers of fabric to contour the shoulder to give it its shape, but without sacrificing any of your impact protection, where a seam is going to be a fail point. So underneath the actual capped shoulders, you are going to have ForceTech armor in the shoulders as well as the elbows, pop reflectivity working down the arm. We will have a bicep adjuster on the inside of this. Tony's arms are absolutely massive, so we can barely get that closed. You've been hitting the gym hard, as shown in our November deals video. And then when we get to the cuff on this, you are going to have a Ykk zip and a nice wide entry point. Close it up. You're going to be able to see that thermal liner pushing through underneath the cuff. Zip that. We'll snap that shut for you. And then as we work our way down the front, the real thing that I want to point out here is the way that the ventilation works. So I've got the one on the left-hand side is going to be closed, the one on the right-hand side is open. So you will notice that it's just a simple roll-down design. You're going to see that laminated, that 3-layer laminate working through the back on this, and it just really works to show you exactly how they tape seam this all off. As we roll this down, once you have that rolled down, you've got just an elasticated strap that fits over top of that, holds that into place with a piece of Velcro. But really the story is the water-resistant Ykk Zip. So YKK water resistant zippers are just that, they're water resistant, but they still allow a little bit of water to push through under extreme riding conditions. So the way Spidi's combated this problem is they've added waterproof gutters that actually sit behind the zipper, and then they channel water down. So as water pushes through, it channels down, and if I hold this out of the way, there's actually drains at the bottom of those gutters. So if water is pushing through, it'll hit the waterproof gutter, it'll drain down, and it'll come out of these little holes at the bottom. So it's just an ingenious design. It's something we really haven't seen before from other manufacturers. And then in the closed position, those zippers will go up underneath the flap, and they'll sit completely out of the way, maximizing waterproof protection throughout. So what you're getting is a piece that in the summer months, you get direct ventilation to the body, and then in the rainier months of the year or in cold weather, you can close that up, and it helps to block airflow as well as water. As we work our way down, you can have dual hand warmer pockets on either side, pop reflectivity running down the very middle of this, and then Juice, I'm gonna have you go ahead and face sideways, throw the hand up in the rider position. Now what you'll notice is you have two adjusters on the side, slight pre-curve to the sleeve. You can see that pop reflectivity along the sleeve on this, but there is a slight pre-curve, so if you are using this with a sportier option, you can get a little more of a full tuck with that. Now at the very top, you're gonna have a lat adjuster that's done with a buckle system, and then you'll have a Velcro adjuster that's at the bottom done in Velcro. So this slides very easily. The one thing I will say is that with the jacket in place, it's a little bit hard to slide. So I'd recommend setting this before you get the jacket on, utilizing it, and then putting it on, and then making sure that it fits you, spot on before you get on the motorcycle, as opposed to trying to adjust it while you're out there actually riding. Juice, you can go ahead and face backwards for me. So starting with the top, you can see 3D mesh on the collar working way along the back. So if you are in a little bit more of a full tuck, you get that comfort piece there. And then I had the back vent opened already for you. And the one thing I will say is with the bungee system, it's a little bit cumbersome. It's something that you do have to kind of take the jacket off to kind of fine tune and get to. On the women's jacket, they utilize a snap system. And I'm not sure exactly why they went with this, the bungee and the Velcro here. My guess is they've gone away from the snap because they've added this, this waterproof gutter system, and perhaps the snap didn't work with that. But for either way, you now have this Velcro system as opposed to the snap system that we're seeing in the women's jacket. And the same thing here, if you want to close this up, full mesh panel to the back, but if we want to close this up and get the waterproof protection, or you just want to block some of that wind in the colder months, it's just two zips on either side, and then you just want to make sure that you take this extra piece of material and fold it down to maximize waterproof and windproof protection. When you do that, you will see that there is that extra pop of reflectivity running across the center of the back. And then of course there is going to be a rabbit pouch at the bottom of this, so that if you take that inner liner out, you have a place to store it. The other thing you'll notice is that there is going to be a shock cord adjuster at the waist on this. So if you want to fine tune this down around your pants to make sure there's no air pushing up, that will work to do so. And there is going to be a 360 zipper. So there's that long connection zipper underneath, so you can match this up with Spidi pants, giving yourself a full riding suit. Other thing to note here, no back protector is included with this, but it will fit the Warrior back protector if you want to add that. With all the protection you have going on here, we always recommend making sure to add a back protector to whatever jacket it is that you get. Juice, let's face forward. Now comes the fun part. You get to unsnap, you get to unzip. As we're taking a look at this, you have full weatherproof gutter on the inside. So this is going to block water, it's going to block wind. As we open this up, you're going to take that Ykk Zips zipper open. Now, as we take a look at the inside of this, you will have a Napoleon pocket on the right side, and you will notice, now, Juice has already got this removed from the thermal liner, 100-gram thermal liner, and what's ingenious about the way that Spidi connects this is you don't see any connection point here, and that's because they've designed the connection point to actually push through right along the seam. So if you're not using it, you can use it as destination liner. You can walk around if you're a little bit cold at the campsite, and you don't have these extra straps sticking out. So Juice, hold the right side open just very gently for a second. This is what it looks like with that strap on the outside. If you want to unsnap that, you simply unsnap it. It pushes right back through the seam, and you can't see that it's actually being utilized. The other thing of note here is that there will be a connection. If you want to add the chest armor, it'll snap right into place. And like I said, you will have that connection zipper along the bottom. So if you want to, you can go ahead and match this up with a pair of pants for a full suit. Juice, you may go ahead and zip up for me. So for you riders out there that are looking for an offering from Spidi offering true 4-season functionality, the Tour EVO Adventure H2Out is an offering to consider. Now, one of the things that really has just struck me with this piece is that a lot of times when we see other manufacturers that have done this, there's a sacrifice in either the warm or the cold, and with the Tour EVO Adventure, it really is pushing into that true 4-season offering. Now, there's a lot of riders out there that are utilizing Spidi gear on their rides, and if you want to hear more about what they have to say, click the info button on your desktop or mobile device, which will allow you to read other rider reviews from folks that are already out there putting Spidi gear through its paces. If you have more questions for one of our gear geeks as to which piece of gear is right for you and your ride, give them a shout, 877-792-9455, or simply type us out an email, cs@revzilla.com. Thank you for joining us for this look at the Spidi Tour EVO Adventure H2Out Jacket. I'm Spurge, this is Juice. Enjoy the ride.